So as we fastly approach the Game Awards 2022, I am starting to see a lot of hope, excitement, and expectations around the potential for big Nintendo Switch game announcements to be featured at this event, with some quote-unquote leakers even coming back into the mix claiming that they know exact specific games will be revealed here. And in today's video, I want to break down the history of Nintendo announcements at the Game Awards and discuss together as Nintendo fans where we should really be setting our expectations for this event as it approaches next week. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below. Hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. Now, as I mentioned, guys, today we are discussing all things Game Awards 2022 and where us Nintendo fans should be setting our expectations walking into this event, because I'm seeing a lot of talk and discourse online. Some people not expecting much, others expecting a Nintendo Direct level showcase here with multiple new announcements. And we first have to kick off this conversation with looking at history, as you can't always use history as a good indicator for what Nintendo will do, because to be quite honest, they are the most unpredictable company out there, period. You can at least look back and see what they've done in the past to kind of set some kind of a baseline expectation of what you will be looking forward to this year. And we are looking at a Nintendo Life article that I will have linked in the description down below. It is actually from last year, as there was a lot of hype and anticipation walking into the 2021 Game Awards with Nintendo announcements. And by the way, we'll go over what was actually announced there later in the video, but to quickly kind of highlight this article, it does a good job of breaking down everything that we've ever seen Nintendo feature at the Game Awards, with one repeat offender game, really two, the first of which being Zelda Breath of the Wild in 2014, made a debut on the Game Awards during that year with actual gameplay with the Wii U gamepad. They were doing a big marketing push for Breath of the Wild at the Game Awards and gave us a pretty lengthy look at the game. And that was a big feature for Nintendo fans back in 2014, because keep in mind, that was well before the launch of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Can't even remember if they actually revealed what the title was at that point in time, because of course it was decided that that game ultimately would launch on both the Wii U and the Switch and needed additional development time in true Zelda game fashion. But that was definitely one of the more notable announcements at a Game Awards showcase back in 2014. Of course, a lot has changed over the years for Nintendo as well. 2015 was a different year, of course, because it was a very sad year for Nintendo, as the current president of the company, Satoru Iwata, sadly passed away, and there was a big tribute to him at the event, which I think is still a really cool thing to go back and look at in gaming history, where they actually had all of the heads of Nintendo and other companies alike to celebrate his life. And that was a really cool moment and look back at what Mr. Iwata brought to the company. And clearly there was no big focus on new hype announcements that year. Now, Game Awards 2016 was a repeat with more Zelda Breath of the Wild footage as we were getting closer to that game's ultimate 2017 launch. Then in the Game Awards of 2017, we get another Breath of the Wild section where it won numerous awards, including Best Game of the Year. And they also shadow dropped the second DLC for the game, The Champion's Ballad, with a hype trailer. And that was yet another notable year in Nintendo's history, with announcing big things at the Game Awards, or something that at least most fans can walk away very hyped from. We then look at 2018, and instead of Breath of the Wild being the focal point and the centerpiece, we now shift to Smash Bros, which is another one that is a repeat offender on this list. We of course got the reveal that the Joker would be added into the roster of playable characters, with multiple fighter packs that would be on the way. And this became an expectation to not only have at every Nintendo Direct, but almost every Game Awards as well, with certain years being skipped, like 2019, where Bravely Default 2 was officially unveiled. And there were, of course, a few Nintendo games that won some awards, and even Reggie made an appearance on stage, but at that time, he's already not the face of Nintendo of America or president of Nintendo America at that point, so it is really just him talking about gaming and not being aligned with any kind of Nintendo announcement. Now, to continue down our list, the Game Awards 2020, Mario gets impaled. This is, of course, the Sephiroth reveal that was super well done and very hype, but yeah, there was a little bit of worry that when that that trailer originally focused in on Sephiroth's blade, that maybe Mario is dead, but of course that was not the case, and his overall saved the day. But sadly, that is where our list really ends with notable Game Award announcements, because obviously this article was all written in anticipation of what would be coming in 2021. And what did we get from Nintendo amongst all of the hype online and even leakers claiming that Zelda's 35th anniversary would show up in a big way with a live concert and the reveal of potentially games like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD that of course have been in the rumor mill for far too long now. But no, we didn't get any of that. We got a few different ad spots for Nintendo Switch games that you can go pick up that you already knew were available, and it was legitimately commercials aired from Nintendo. We did not get anything in the way of notable announcements or even participation from the company, and that's where I want to spend just a little bit of time, is that it's not quite clear if Reggie was maybe the bridge with Jeff Keighley around Nintendo aligning some big reveals. Did we have post-Reggie announcements with Smash Bros. DLC? Yes, we did, but last year was a big, notable misstep for Nintendo to show up in any way, shape, or form, and I personally would not put all my expectations in the world that this year will be any different with Nintendo's involvement. Could we get surprise new trailers for things like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom that we know will be out in May of next year, and the game has already been rated, by the way, so that is a great news scenario for a most likely mid-May launch date. I do believe that they will hit their goal of launching it on the 12th, and it might make sense to drop some kind of a hype trailer where there's a lot of casual gaming eyeballs on this event, as it's the Hollywood event of what gaming has to offer. And I actually think that makes a lot of sense and is probably the most likely of announcements that we will get if we see Nintendo actually participate and announce anything at all. I think it's an updated trailer for Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm still setting my expectations on that very low. We are done with Smash Bros. DLC, clearly. That was a big staple and focal point for the Game Awards in terms of what Nintendo would announce there. I don't think they're going to surprise us with a Fighter Pack Volume 3. That ship has sailed, so don't expect anything there. And then we really only know of a couple big Nintendo Switch 2023 releases at this point in time. Metroid Prime 4 most likely won't even be a 2023 game. It could slide into the end of the year, but again, we haven't seen any kind of gameplay or in-engine footage whatsoever, so keep that in mind. We don't know how far Retro has really gotten into the development of this thing since it was taken over by them and restarted over 3 years ago now, but we see how long Nintendo can take with major first-party franchises, Zelda being a great example of that, as Tears of the Kingdom legitimately has the longest development in between any mainline Zelda games ever, and I wouldn't expect Metroid Prime 4 to be that different in terms of how Nintendo is handling this project and really wants to restart the series in a big way. So my personal prediction around when we see anything Metroid Prime related, whether that be the HD remaster or the Prime 4 footage, I think that comes as a show closer potentially for something like the summertime E3 Nintendo Direct that we should hopefully be able to safely expect in 2023. And besides that, we have Pikmin 4 on the 2023 release roadmap. We've seen very little of this game so far, but it is a 2023 title according to Nintendo's own release schedule, so there's a possibility that something like that potentially shows up or gets acknowledged here. Do we get announcements for major new projects? That's where I think I personally am erring on the side of caution, and I'm not going to expect anything in terms of new games from Nintendo here. Could there be third-party announcements that come to Nintendo Switch, like Mega Man games coming up on his 35th anniversary? That's definitely a likely possibility, and I think we could see a ton of third-party announcements that will make it to the Switch potentially, but I'm not going into this with any way, shape, or form expectations around Nintendo really stepping up and delivering major first-party footage or releases other than the fact that there is a possibility, because of Zelda's history with this event, that we do see them come back with some kind of Tears of the Kingdom trailer. But that's my 2 cents on it. That's where I'm setting my expectations personally. I want to hear from you guys at this point in the video, all your thoughts and theories around what we may see at the Game Awards 2022 that will be happening Thursday of next week. Are you going to be tuning into the event? Where are your personal expectations set around this event? And do you think we will see any major first party new Nintendo game announcements announcements or even just updates on any existing titles? Or do you think this may be another year where we see nothing but ad spots play as Jeff Keighley says, here's your Nintendo moment, and it's literally just a commercial? So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around this topic. Go watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, which is on screen right now. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.